A couple months ago, I got to meet up with Tekken world class pros Book, Arslan Ash, and Knee. I feel like I've told this story a bunch, so let me know in the comments if you want to see that video. There's a whole saga to that. Anyways, they came down to Burbank, California to participate in the Evo showcase. They played a bunch of Tekken 8 matches. I've done a bunch of video reviews on that. Go ahead, check that out if you're interested. But the cool part is because I had my stream set up and it was in my hotel room, I basically kind of trapped them into playing matches with me and giving me coaching. Real talk, their weekend was super not busy and there was no full tournament. So I felt really comfortable kind of asking for their time because either they would sit in the hotel room doing nothing or they could play Tekken with me. You know what I mean? So this video, I sat down with Knee, we played a few sets, and then I took a break because honestly, he was just 5-0ing me constantly. And after that, I asked him some questions about Noctis, about Arslan and the Pakistani style, and I think you guys are going to love his responses. So I've put together this little video. I'm going to throw that up right now, and I'll provide some context and analysis as we go along. But the video mostly stands alone, so I'm just here to supplement. Let's check it out.
Okay.
Oh. Well played. So I had a question. I watched a video of your Noctis.
Oh.
And it's okay if I pull up
Yeah.
video? Yeah. I have to find the I looked up knee full video YouTube and we got the medical knee. So this one,
Oh.
I see
Yeah.
only this move
Oh.
and down back 3.
Yeah.
Is that special for Hwarang or this player
Uh,
or just
No.
whatever?
no, every character is okay.
This
Yeah.
down 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every character is okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Because I see this block
Uh,
and you can still sidewalk skyrocket.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Because
very good.
-5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for context, I did a video on this actually. I'm not going to pause too long, but I did a video reviewing Knee's Noctis, and I was saying how he did this really optimal strategy, and I wanted to clarify his position on it. He's saying using Noctis down back 1/1+2, you could do on every character. It's not just an anti-Hwarang thing. And another set I saw. So you do this, and yeah, that's crazy.
Yes.
And not as much 2-2.
2-2, yes.
2-2 good.
Oh.
But you like this better or depend?
Downback 1 is sometimes very short. Yeah. So that time 2-2 is a better option.
So he's saying down back 1/1+2 has less range than 2-2, so 2-2 is a better option when you need to cover that space. What you'll notice throughout this video is that Knee's answers are very simple. Like, they're not super complicated, not super deep. His thinking, even though he's very complex in the way he can execute things and very skilled, his thought process is very streamlined, very, very straightforward.
So downback 1 and sometimes 2-2 and downback 3 very difficult block. Oh, so mix up
Those 3 change timing.
Yeah.
And so his Noctis game plan with poking is down back 1/1+2, down 3, and 2-2. They're all 15 frame mids and a 16 frame low. The ranges are a bit different, but that's why you see him playing down back 1 is because he's going to play at a space where down 3 is at the same range. So he's not telegraphing it by advancing forward and then doing down 3, which is more predictable than if you're already standing in range and doing the move. And then they make mistake, up forward 1, forward 1+2.
Yes.
Do you like down 2 as much?
Down 2? Sometime.
Some people tell me they think they can see it react.
No.
No?
20 frame is I think human can see watch it. Yeah.
So my friends are not human.
No.
No. Yeah. So I'm not going to call my friends who said they feel that they can pseudo see down 2. But it is interesting playing against people who have really, really good defense and are very high level and feel that whether it's just how I telegraph my timing or not, I'm making Noctis's down 2 pretty obvious. But Knee is saying 20 frames not reactable, no question. Okay, so that's good to know because I think my timing is obvious. I think I'm down 2.
Because Fang down 2 20 frame.
Yeah.
What? Almost obvious block. Yeah, and
Because big.
yeah, and focusing to low. Because Peng is many good low attack. So almost player focus to low block. Yeah, so didn't see this move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too slow.
Yeah.
Or
No,
cannot
no,
see.
no.
Cannot see.
Yeah, cannot see. Because
fast.
I think human watching frame is 24.
24 is human speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Gigas down back 2.
23, maybe 24.
So it's hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
So this one is really interesting because if you watch like low high or if you watch Speed Kicks play, their ability to react to certain lows is incredible. I'm talking like Jin down back 4, Jin Hell Sweep. Low high makes Master Raven's down 4 look like it's reactable. So it's clearly Knee's position is clear. If it's a 20 frame low, you can't see it. Fang's down 2, you can't see. It's just harder to deal with because he has all these different timings, right? So all these different timing lows, they all come out at different speeds. And then I mentioned Gigas down back 2, and he says that's really, really hard to react to. And most people would agree. But some other nuanced positions I've heard on this are that it's not just the speed, you have to consider the animations relative to the other characters' animations, right? So Gigas down back 2 is kind of annoying because it can be confused with him just crouching, right? So by the time you realize he's doing the attack, it's not as obvious. Versus, say, Noctis Spear, he's saying like, stay, right? He announces it. Or Heihachi going Hashi with the down back 2. So there's more variables than just the speed. But it's interesting to hear Nee speak on it from this perspective, where he says, straight visually as a human, I'm not seeing it if it's 25 frames or slower.
Okay, you heard it here.
Yeah. Your friend, maybe I think Katarina down back 3 cannot see.
Oh, I can't see for sure. Not me.
So he says Katarina down back 3 is unseeable, which, you know, I get hit by it all the time. So I'm not one to... I know I am. I'm going to lie. I am one to cope. So if Nee says it, I'm going to agree with it. But no, it is an interesting perspective that Nee feels that some things aren't reactable, whereas I've heard other people not only say it, but also demonstrate that they're pretty good at reacting to it in tournament. I'm not talking like in practice mode. I'm talking in tournament reacting to these things.
That's good to know. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Other question I have is... when we play and when me and Arslan play, many sidestep right because down forward 1, up forward 1, lots of sidestep right. Is it better for me as Noctis to sidestep with them or do nothing or move forward or depend?
I think Noctis sidestep only sometime.
Only sometimes.
Yeah, he don't need side step.
So I see later.
So at first I was confused by Nee's statement there, but I think what he's saying is Noctis's moves are so good that he doesn't have to follow a character if they sidestep. Right? Traditionally, one of the answers to repeated sidesteps as defensive options was as the attacker to sidestep with them. This does two things. This realigns your move, right? But also maintains spacing pressure while nullifying their sidestep, right? Like if they sidestep and you forward dash, that creates a different spacing, even though you'll be aligned again, your move won't whiff. It'll create a different spacing than stepping with them. So I think what he's saying is Noctis's moves, again, are so strong, he has so much coverage, that don't bother doing that. He shouldn't have to do that most of the time. Just pick a better move. Which is very Tekken 7. I think that's what he's saying.
Especially later in the set,
Okay.
everything I do, he sidestep right. There. So there, I choose do nothing. But I'm not sure if I should hit him or let him do it and do nothing.
So my question to Nee is, if you look at Arslan's gameplay in that moment, you can rewind if you need to, he plays so much sidestep right just to counter my down forward 1, counter my back 2, and it's so hard to hit him because of that. So I'm asking, how does Nee deal with that?
And then if I chase while he step, sometimes he magic 4.
Yes.
So I think
because you use
yeah,
homing.
yeah.
Down 4 is maybe counter percent.
Nia is saying, yes, if you're trying to track him with a homing move, his counter hit rate is going to go up. Like, it's easier to counter hit somebody using a slow homing move.
So I think better do nothing. He sidestep, I say okay. Or maybe move and block. But I'm not sure.
I think that time you use down back 3 or down 2.
Down back 3 or down 2 track.
Because Noctis, left upper, and back 2 cannot catch sidestep.
Yes.
So only low attack.
Low attack.
Yeah, this is sometimes not good.
It's good but slow, right?
No. Oh yeah, poor timing. Back 1, Steve like Steve.
Yeah.
And high magic 4, difficult.
So better low.
Yeah.
So this is a really interesting take from me. I'm going to let him finish real
Maybe
quick.
you mind the game very difficult.
Yeah.
So that time low, because sidestep he want to mid attack. Yeah. Low attack. Maybe he don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Yeah.
And so I take damage or take the damage.
Yes.
Okay.
So Nee has a very simple take on this, and I was looking at this from a completely different angle. He says if they're playing sidestep right, they're probably looking to get away from your mids, right? So if they're just hitting sidestep right constantly, just go low. Your down 3 as Noctis and your down 2 as Noctis will track. So you don't even got to think about that. Now that opens up a different mind game if they do like sidestep low parry, right? Or sidestep duck. But first of all, the 2 lows, down 3 and down 2, complement each other. Down 2 can't be low parried, and people want to block it to get a better launch. But if people just block down 3, they don't get that good of a punish compared to a low parry. So that already creates that like low mix-up, right? Like which low block am I going to choose? But on top of that, he's not talking about realignment. He's not talking about these higher level concepts that were so common in Tekken Tag 2, Tekken 6, Tekken 5. He's talking very Tekken 7. And I think that's a testament to his willingness to adapt to the new game's meta. So in this case, he says, if they're sidestepping, they're looking for mid, just go low. Now, obviously, I mentioned 2 seconds ago that if the opponent plays sidestep right duck, you have another problem to deal with, right? In those situations, I would say they're giving up so much time and giving up so many frames doing their defensive option that you can just realign, play a mid. 2-2 from Noctis is really good in that situation for catching that duck. But Nee was saying that forward 1+2 loses to so many moves because that forward costs time, and the mid itself comes out in like 15, 16 frames, right? At the fastest, 16, I believe. So you're spending a lot of time doing the homing. It makes it easy for Steve to hit a back 1, Julia to hit a counter hit magic 4. Basically, it's too slow to be a good option against sidestep right block.
Yes, it was. Julia was hard. Katarina, okay.
Oh.
I think he's better than me, so the Katarina beat me. But I think Noctis Katarina okay, but Noctis Julia a little hard. That was just me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of situations where I just mess up and Nee just goes, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, so much nothing. So much nothing because... have to low pin.
This style is Pakistan player like it.
This style.
Yeah, because they know how to beat safe style. Yeah. So you maybe nothing press button and only moving. They know.
They're good against it.
Yeah. How to beat them. This style. Yeah. So maybe
have to button.
Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah.
They are so good at it. Yeah. And then very late when we play, it felt like every button I do, he step. every block I do, he low. He's just so good, you know. Let me
yeah.
see this one.
So yeah, now Nee is talking about the Pakistani style, and basically what he's saying is they are so streamlined at beating the safe style, which is commonly seen in Korea, right? A lot of defensive movement, a lot of offensive movement, and trying to catch your opponent's timing so you can find counter hits and things like that. Counter hits, whiffs, sidesteps. I was mentioning that at a certain point it felt like I would try to retaliate, he would sidestep. I would try to do track his sidestep, and he would counter hit me. I attribute that to, I think, the skill difference and the experience difference. But I was just thinking about how that safe style and their ability to counter that might be part of the reason why Pakistan tends to have trouble against American styles. I was just looking at this Julia gameplay here. Let me see if I can find the moment. You'll see that Arslan does these. His style of placing lows is so different than what I'm used to in America. Okay, look at this situation here. He does 1-1 that hits, and then he does an immediate low. Okay, in Korea and Pakistan, and I experienced this directly when I fought them, their method of going for low blocks and low parries is more focused on catching an obvious dash timing. So if you're out of range and you do forward and then a low, Pakistan and Korea low parry that almost 100% of the time, especially if you're obvious with it. However, this style where he did attack and immediate low is death in America, right? Most of my American opponents, especially of this younger generation, like Tekken 7, if you attack into a low, they'll fuzzy a low parry and you get launched. So that is a distinct style difference that I think may be a clue on why America tends to do better against Pakistan, right? We know Shadow has done really well. Cuddlecore tends to do well. Joey Fury, obviously. I don't actually know about Joey's tournament experience against Pakistani players, but I know for sure Shadow is infamous for having beaten Arslan, and me too. But the point is, I think that that style of offense is notably present in the Pakistani offense, but not as present in American offense because of the defensive style that has kind of become popular in this generation.
Nothing.
So that was a off the cuff. I literally just thought of that. But again, Nee is talking about if you're doing nothing and all these safe things, Pakistan's really good against that.
Nothing press button and only what are moving. They know.
They're good against it.
Yeah. How to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think to get into detail, I've reanalyzed this. Pakistan is especially good at randomizing their move choices and their move timing. So they are good at attacking in between your backdash timings. When you Korean backdash, it creates this rhythm, almost like a metronome. To attack, they have to chase you on that timing, right? So what Pakistan is insanely good at is if you're backdashing like this, right? The next time you attack is probably backdash and then counter hit, right? Like think Noctis up forward 1, Steve back 1. What Pakistan is so good at is while you're doing this backdash, they might do a half movement, right? So you're following like this. Backdash, half movement, and then they do their button first and counter hit you for trying to do something. Or likewise, if you're dashing up to hit them and they're moving, right? Maybe you attack like this and they do a half backdash and then counter attack. These are the people in Korea and America describe this as like offbeat timing, where if the Korean backdash dictates a beat, this is why I think Korean backdash is really, really cool, by the way, is it creates this kind of rhythm. Pakistan is so good at exploiting the offbeat timing in between these moments, right? And Nee didn't say that directly here, but I've heard him talk about it before, and that's been my analysis fighting Arslan as well. When you combine that with their ability, and Arslan's ability especially, to feel truly random in whether they want to go mid or low, right? Not statistically going mid, statistically going low, but feeling truly random, and then sometimes picking safe coverage versus crazy launch attempt, right? That combination is so deadly because if you can't beat them on analytical timing and you can't beat them on guessing their mid-low mix-up, you have to play the game of attacking yourself. And that is the conclusion Nee will come to in a second.
Yeah. So maybe
have to button.
Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah.
Have to sometimes use button.
They are so good at it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then very late when we play, it felt like every button I do, he step. Every block I do,
and then I mentioned this already.
He's just so good, you know.
And this is, I think, the Arslan difference in that championship level is that what you combine all of the skills Pakistan has, the offense, the randomization, the offbeat timing, and he has some of the most cracked defense we've seen in Tekken. Period. His reactions are ridiculous. His ability to react to forward movement and pick defense is ridiculous. His ability to defend not out of fear, but out of a fighter's instinct is absolutely incredible. So combine all of these things, that is kind of the Arslan formula.
Let's see. This
Super
one.
nasty.
I think we talk here, actually. Let's see.
And here I think I
Yeah,
pull up a
5-0.
different video.
Oh.
Very, very strong. Oh, yeah, he picked Noctis.
Oh.
And every time, sidestep right,
Yeah.
and then, or counter hit. Yes, his Noctis feels so
Oh,
strong.
we got side swapped. I'm on
But
the road.
Noctis easy, so.
This is you.
Yes, yeah, we
Oh.
change side. Throw.
I step the wrong way there. I do a dumb spring kick. But see, it's kind of like no fear. Completely random. But behind that randomness is this really solid undertone, undercurrent.
Side right, right.
He's playing all these sidewalks right to beat
And
my
I'm
down
so
forward
scared,
one.
so I do nothing.
Yeah, he waiting.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is maniacal, okay? Arslan is throwing sidewalks right, like deliberately, right? The worst thing he eats is a 2-2. That's not his life bar. It puts him in rage. It's beneficial. It's trying to bait me into doing forward 1+2 because all of my pokes, down forward 1 and back 2, my big mids, my safe mids, because he knows I like to play safe, sidewalk right will counter all that. So he's inviting me to do those moves. Or, he's countering me doing a down forward 1 or a back 2. So either he gets a launch punish if I whiff those, or if he thinks I'm going to counter it because I'm watching him, he's inviting me to do forward 1+2 or 2-2, two slower moves. So now he's conditioned me just with his movement. Now he plays up forward 1 again, right? Because remember, if he sidewalks to the right and I don't want to whiff, I have to use my slow moves. So the counter hit is free. Maniacal stuff. And then he low parries me. He was still looking defensively while setting that up. And it doesn't take a lot of risk to just go quick low parry, especially against Noctis. What is he going to do? Hop kick you? His hop kick is slower. The range is weirder. It doesn't have as good tracking. So Noctis players don't use it very much. And he's watched me play a lot. So he knows I don't use it very much. So the quick low parry is so low risk.
And
Oh.
because I think step right again, and then
That time down 2 is a better option.
And then Knee says down 2 is a better option.
solo parry.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Oh, this is me again. I forget. No. Mm-hmm.
Then I get counter hit. Arslan's Noctis
So
is
Pakistan's
nasty,
so
bro.
strong against only move.
Yeah. They don't respect opponent.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just hit.
Yeah, yeah. So your play is safe, but I guess you can his mind game. You can leading his mind game.
Don't play his game.
No. You understand Aslan mind game?
Mm-hmm. I think so. But what do you think?
So what Nee said here is your playstyle is very safe, but only if you understand your opponent's mind game, their mindset, their strategy. And so I said, okay, sure. And he's like, do you understand Arslan's mind game? And I was like, well, I mean, I think I kind of get it, but I don't think I'm good enough to do it. But I wanted to clarify his position.
This style is you understood opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Safe style is okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand your opponent, the safe style is okay.
Yeah, this is a long set style.
Oh,
Long set
yeah.
style.
but not tournament.
Yeah. He is a tournament style.
Yes.
And how to beat safe style. So this style is very difficult to Aslan.
Mm-hmm.
So he said Arslan is not only playing a tournament style, he's good at beating the safe style. So trying to do this is really hard against him. And I think this ties into something he said earlier. When I got low parried way back, like here, my down 3 gets low parried, right? And then Nee, in response to this, said down 2 is just a better option. And I would have thought after studying the Korean style, he would say something like better to realign, better to forward dash, do nothing. But no, he said pick a better button. And there's nothing more Tekken 7 than that. And I'm really impressed with his adaptation to the new meta of this game. That was something I should have covered before. Anyways, he's saying now Arslan is so good at abusing the safe styles, and he's playing a tournament style. And unless you really understand his mind game, you can't play the long set style against him.
He is a tournament style.
Yes.
And how to beat safe style. So this style is very difficult to Aslam. So you need more aggressive.
More aggressive.
So he's saying play more aggression. In order to control what they're doing, you need to use your own buttons, right? Unless you really have downloaded your opponent, that fully safe style is so hard to make work in this game. In any Tekken game, really, you can't just do nothing forever. But this one is probably the most generous about doing nothing for long periods of time. No doubt. And he nods.
Yeah, it feels he's ready for me to step, ready for me to go low, ready for
Yeah. So he don't respect.
Yeah, run. And I think if they come at me, jab is good, no? Or any hitbox attack.
Yeah, but Noctis jab not good.
Not good?
Yeah.
So this is an interesting take. So first of all, he says Arslan and Pakistan in general don't really respect you as a defender. They were going to run their mix-up, run their offense. So Arslan is just forward dashing in my face, not respecting my hop knee or anything, given I haven't shown it. So it makes sense, right? These are all first to fives. He's played a lot with me. He understands I'm not going to throw a random launcher. So he can just forward dash. And then Knee, I ask, so should I jab him? Should I keep him out? And Knee tells me that Noctis's jab isn't very good. And that's surprising to me because I always considered Noctis's jab to be really good. In combos, it has a low hitbox, so it's easy to float. But I think he's describing the jab in terms of its forward coverage, right? A good jab like Fang's or Lydia's, where they kind of advance forward and really stick that arm out, is probably what he's thinking of with a good jab. So I was shocked to hear that Noctis didn't have a good jab because I considered it to be very strong. And this funny that I was just talking about the hop kick. That's how I get this opening on Arslan. He's playing forward dash, and I was tired of it. So I did a hop knee that beat his low, but I was actually thinking about beating his forward movement. Just I didn't execute it very cleanly. And Arslan here gets really confused. You can't see the camera, but he goes like, ah. If you want to see these matches, by the way, let me know in the comments. I want to review them, but it's there's a lot of content,
good,
so it's hard to get on time.
Lucky situation.
Yeah.
And he said lucky situation.
So much risk, and he has to not lazy, but he has to get lazy for me to get that.
Yeah. So he didn't obviously you use risky move. Yeah. So he's confused.
So he's saying that was risky, but not obvious because I never use risky moves. So Arslan's probably confused.
Oh, hop kick. So you have sometimes risky. Risky is okay.
Yeah.
And he's saying that's good. Sometimes playing risky is okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, because this
run
front to front. He thinks, oh, I do front dash, but you never
attack back or challenge.
You never press button.
Yeah, no keep out.
Yeah, so he know. Yeah, so press.
So he's saying Arslan is doing all this forward dashing because I'm playing no keep out. So he can push me to the wall. He can mix up his attack timings. He can apply pressure. All of these things with almost no risk because outside of that one hop kick, I'm never hop kneeing him. And Arslan is smart enough to realize that hop knee was on a timing where he was doing a low, not out of the neutral where he's chasing me.
Yes, he move, I hit. It's good.
Yeah.
But he's so good at move and then move and then I miss. Oh. I need more practice.
Yes,
It's so
yes,
strong, so
yeah.
strong.
So I came to the conclusion mid description. He's saying, like, if he's chasing you, hit him, you know, like you got to hit him. And I said, but when I try to hit him, he counterplays me. He does the sidestep, he does the counter hit. And the conclusion I came to while I was saying that was, I just need more practice. I need to play more against higher level players who are paying attention to these kinds of things. And in doing so, I will get better at countering and putting keep out at the right times, holding it back at the right times. It was truly a skill issue.
Well, thank you. Yeah. We play some, and then I have more questions.
Okay, and then I said, well, let's play some, and then I'll have more questions later. And then I got excited for a split second because he picked Noctis, but he didn't mean to. He ended up picking a different character after. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It was an absolute privilege to get to play with Nee, with Arslan, with Book, and get different stylistic takes on my style, get this world-class perspective on my style. And I'm glad that I made that trip out, and I'm glad that you guys enjoy this kind of content so that I can share it. You know, it was memorable for me, and I hope you guys can learn something from it too. So please let me know in the comments if you want to see more of these sets. The audio was rough. There's a whole story behind setting up the stream in the first place. So let me know in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. That's really helpful for me. And I will catch you in the next video. Peace.